G'day guys, it's Thursday at the lab. This morning we are working on the 1JZ E46 BMW. What's going to be happening here is some more bits and pieces will be coming off and they're going to go away and they're going to come back looking prettier. So previous videos I mentioned we don't have all the bits to do what we want to do here. Spaghetti, so that stuff's all just on hold at the moment while we wait for other things. If you're worried about this exposed intake system, all these ports that are just sitting there and all the rubbish is going inside the freshly rebuilt engine, don't worry, it's taken care of. It's all got paper towels all jammed in there so we can't get any rubbish inside the engine. It's all lovely. So, spoke with the owner this morning, Mr. Hamish. I was like, right, I'm taking this stuff to the powder coaters. What stuff do you want, what colour do you want your stuff to be? And what we're going to do is we're going to follow the, you can't see it, the plasma intake manifold, which is, I believe, satin black. It looks like it's satin black. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to try and open the door because it's too close to the hoist and it'll be really awkward and make for terrible viewing. But the call was, okay, let's do that, the turbo intake pipe. Let's do the cam covers. Let's do, should we do those? Should we do those in powder coating or should we do them in anodizing like the actual tanks? Let's do them in powder coating because then it's easier. It's all just going to one place. It's nice and simple. The tanks are, I believe that's anodizing. It looks like anodizing. They're a satin black anyway. It's going to key in quite nicely. And then I was looking at it and visualizing things and I was like, turbo compressor housing is going to look like, because it's, I mean, it's not manky, but it's a little bit old, a little bit worn, dirty looking. It's going to be really hard to make that look clean, nice and fresh and not stand out. And it's going to look nice if it's black anyway, right? It's going to, everything's going to end up being kind of black. We should have got a black air filter for it. Maybe we'll do that when we get a little bit further on. So we'll do that. I'll take that off and that'll go satin black as well. Might as well do this water intake pipe. Then while we're at it, let's do these boost pipes as well. Because they, and even, I think I wrote on one of them somewhere, polish. It might still have the writing on it that it needs to be polished. So we'll do that. And we'll do air intake temp sensor boss has to go on this one first. And then that can go satin black as well. And then it's going to look lovely. Right, so I'll take all those bits off. We'll go for a drive to the powder coating. That's what I was looking for. There it is. Clean inside, polish outside. Except now it's going to be powder coat outside. Rightio. Alright, let's see, I made a start already. Get on with it, Glenn. There were bits flying off everywhere. Small collection of parts to turn satin black. Started taking the cam covers off. Pretty damn tight. Screws are pretty damn tight. It's the only way they're coming undone. And then I think my morning is going to start turning very bad. So why does that one look like that? And also, how am I going to get the impact driver to those screws there? Yep, this is going to be fun. Well, it's worked on the other three. I'm not sure I can do it one-handed. Oh, look at that. Success! No bereavements in the removal of these very tight screws. Now I can get this ugly pair of cam covers off and make them beautiful. To match everything else that's beautiful. We got some shiny, lovely things like this in here and then stuff like that. These were apparently painted not so long ago, but yuck. So, good to see there's plenty of startup lube on this rebuilt engine. On the camshafts. Clean paper towel. Should be something on that. That is bone dry. Absolutely nothing on that. Far out. Same. Yeah, far out. I'll try not to rage too much, but one of the reasons why you don't leave things bone dry when you assemble rebuild engines is bare metal starts rusting, and once it's done that, that's the surface is damaged, a critical surface is damaged, and this is no good. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that rusty cam surfaces is not ideal. So now, I mean, it's not significant damage, but there is damage. So now I've unfortunately got to make a phone call. How dare you hit me on the head? I'm doing good things for you. I've got to make a phone call to the customer, raising my concerns as to the quality of this engine rebuild and questioning whether we trust what's in here or not. I've seen enough so far that I'd be pretty concerned. I'd be starting to think that we probably don't have any lube on the bores. We probably possibly don't have any lube on the bearings, or in the oil pump, or in the camshaft journals. You know, what's going on in here? What have we actually got here? What's going to happen when we try and start this thing up? Far out. Now, for those of you watching who are inclined to be that type of person who goes, oh, he's reaming out the guy that built the engine, but I bet he makes mistakes as well, and he's not the type of person to admit he makes mistakes. You're never wrong, are you, Glenn? All those cliche things that people always throw out. Here's something that I built earlier on that doesn't fit. That's supposed to go in here. And it doesn't fit that. Don't fit anymore. I think that was designed to go in without that, and I've decided to put this back in afterwards, but I'm not entirely certain. I can't remember, and there wasn't actually any videos being done on this sort of thing back in the day when this was done, which I don't even remember exactly when that was. It was a couple of years ago or something. It was a while back. It was before the Gloria. I don't think we had this in here while I was working on the Gloria, and that took 2 years, so it was a little while ago. Anyway, it doesn't fit. I'm happy to say that doesn't fit, because, and I made that, and I have no qualms with saying I made it. It doesn't fit in the car. It's funny how people know. You're never wrong, are you, Glenn? I've had that thrown at me so many times. They obviously don't know me at all, because I frequently point out things that I've got wrong. So I'm going to chop a piece out as per what I've drawn on the line there, because I reckon by the time that swings around a little bit further, oh, you can see it down the bottom there. See that bolt hole? Those two, that hole in that tab and that bolt hole in the chassis. I want those to line up, and I reckon if I chop that piece there out like that, it's probably going to line up, or it'll be pretty close, or it'll be close enough at least that we can see where we're at. And I want that to stay there because I want to put the black cover over the top of this. And if I do this right, it's going to, it won't be perfect because they would do it from plastic, right? And they'd have more rounded corners and stuff. But if we do this right, it'll kind of look like the factory put that in there. Especially once it's satin black and everything. Yeah, the factory don't use AN fittings and all that sort of thing, but it won't stand. I mean, currently, apart from the fact we've got our lovely paper towel cam cover. It's awesome, isn't it? That's going to stand out like the proverbial. Everything else is all nice, and that's aluminium like that. So we're going to fix this first, and then make it satin black with all the rest of these things, and it'll be great. Look, there's oil on top of these bolt heads. That's why there's oil soaking through there. So there's some lube has been going on in here, but not enough. So have spoken with the owner and said to him, I suggest you talk to the guy that built the engine. Let's figure out what's actually going on with this, because I shouldn't have to tip my time, effort, and my customers' money. What? What has happened? What has happened down here? Oh, this is on the manifold. Oh, it's not focused. We've just got a bit of... Oh no! That's not on my downpipe. That's attached to the manifold. See, the downpipe's up here and it's different colour stuff and it goes down there. This is different. I didn't notice that before. Gotta cut that off. It's just flopping around looking terrible. Customer needs to talk to the guy and we need to figure out what's happening here, because I shouldn't have to spend my time and effort finishing up or checking absolutely everything on there, and my customer shouldn't have to pay for it either. So he needs to talk with the guy who did the work on it. And I mean, it might have to go away. Might have to go back to him. He might have to pull it pieces again, prove that he's done the job right or whatever. I don't know. It needs sorting out anyway. I've got no problems pulling it all pieces, checking it all and everything. But it's actually not my place to do that. Okay, enough babble. Let's fix this. Alright, first very rough cut. Cut rough. Cuff runt. Oh, can't say that. We line up with the hole down the bottom now. Yay. That'll go on. That one's lined up down there. That's awesome. And looking at it square on from top. Angles could do with a little bit more of a tidy up. Bit of a shaky hand there, Glenn. So if I bring this edge here back a little bit. Stuff all. Just a tiny little bit. And that'll be good. That'll work. Easy peasy. Mint. That's good. Fits. With room to spare. Angle looks pretty nice to me. It's not 100% perfect. It's very, very close and it's going to be good. So we'll put the plastic cover that's it's in the car there somewhere. There's a black plastic cover, like a satin black sort of thing that goes over the top of all this. All that's going to go in there. And it's all going to be shorter. And then black plastic cover on there. That'll be black. Inlet manifold will be black. All these bits here will all be black. It'll be awesome. Yay. So everything's off down at Boss Powder Coating for sorting out. We should see that back probably Wednesday. I hate to say Wednesday. It might be Wednesday, Thursday. Depends how busy they are. They are normally spot on, those guys, when they say it's going to be a Tuesday or whatever. It's a Tuesday. So that's good. We'll have to check out a few things on that engine before I put those cam covers back on it. As you might have guessed, not entirely impressed with seeing camshafts bone dry like that. Not good, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. We do need to look into things. It would be unwise to crank that engine over and try and fire it up after seeing that. Something else turned up. It's one of those. You guys know those things. This one's from Australia. So it's moved back, or it's moved here. I guess the car probably started off life. Oh, I'm not entirely certain. Did it start in Japan? Don't know. It's got one of these green thingies on it for Australia. But anyway, it was definitely in Australia, and the owner has moved to New Zealand, brought his car with him, and he's a couple of little things sorted out for compliance. So that's what that is here for now. I'll get those things resolved and he'll be on his way and off to the beach with it. So there's that to sort out. There's all the, I guess we'll call that spaghetti as well, that's going into the Barina, the jungle gym roll cage. So we've got the tube here for that and a little bit extra just in case I wanted to do the things I was talking about with the March, which it's a big job. I probably should focus on getting some customers' stuff out of the way for them, keep them happy before I dive into that roll cage stuff, because it's, you'll sort of look at it and think, oh yeah, we'll get that done in 2 days, and it'll probably turn into 2 weeks. So better leave that one alone for now. And big shout out to Rodriguez from Hill Climb Monsters, posting up the video, sharing the video of the little march from Leadfoot 2020. That was, of course, with our mate Paul Radisich behind the wheel, doing an awesome job. Look, he's going to pedal that thing up there faster than I am, for sure. I'm not keen on, on driving the car up that driveway, to be fair. I might give it a crack one day, but it's pretty tight. There's a lot of trees, a lot of tight corners to do the time that Paul did in this car. Me knowing all the things, all the little quirks that the car has. It's not a production vehicle, it's not a factory-backed race car. This is something that's been built, literally sitting where it is right now. And that is the wall of my house behind us here. So this is not built in some European mega factory for BMW or Ford or anything like that, you know. So he's done well. The machine's gone up the hill at whatever time it was, 52.29 I think it might have been. So we were about 13th overall, and when you look at the cars that were in front of us and you look at the cars that were behind us, I mean, it was an achievement not to be knocked, unless you don't know what you're talking about. There's a few of those people around, let's be honest. But anyway, all good. It's not particularly nice weather outside, so the Barina didn't make it in here today because of that. We'll get that Z32 sorted out, we'll get that out of the way, we'll get the Barina in here and we'll play some fun things. Okay, right, cheers, bye.